Yo, if you run an OFM agency and you're making at least 15K a month, I want to give you some advice in this video on how you can get to 6 figures a month, 7 figures a month, wherever you desire. I can't show you how to get past 7 figures a month because I've not done it myself, but I can show you how I've not only got my own agency to 7 figures a month, but also helped 100 plus other agencies get to 6 figures a month profit and 7 figures. So pay attention. The main constraints at that level, when you're making 15K, 30K, 50K, even 100K, like inflow rev, you're still a very small agency. And so like cash is the constraint. But not just cash, you've not probably run a business before like this. And so you don't know the right decisions to make. And so you go up and down, you stay stuck, you just feel a bit lost. You feel like you have to work harder to grow the business, but you kind of realize as time goes on, that's not necessarily true. And so the main things you first need to identify is, do you have a predictable and reliable and scalable fulfillment system? What I mean by that is, do you have a reliable, predictable way and a scalable way when a model works for you, that you can get them traffic, that you can increase their result, you can increase their dream outcome. For example, if a model is making $2,000 a month and she wants to get to 10K a month or 20K a month, can you actually deliver that for her? And if so, over what time horizon? And is it predictable and is it reliable? Or is it kind of just luck? It depends on the model. Sometimes they will work, sometimes they won't. Sometimes you'll get a bit lucky, sometimes videos will go viral, sometimes they don't, and so on and so forth. So if you don't have a predictable way, then that's the first main constraint, right? That's the thing that you need to focus on figuring the fuck out. Because without that, it doesn't matter if you have the best acquisition system and everything else, because you just can't deliver. You can't fulfill for the models, right? And not just traffic as well, but fulfillment also is chatting as well. Do you actually have chatting? Do you actually have organic content systems, right? I'm speaking about fulfillment as a whole, right? And so that's pretty much chatting, client relationship management, and traffic, right? So do you have a predictable way to get traffic, to monetize that traffic, and to keep the client happy, and to get it to a dream outcome? If you do, great, that's not your constraint. You can move on. If that is your constraint, you have to figure out how to solve that. And you just want to do it with one thing. You do not want to be doing everything, right? Biggest mistake I see a lot of people make in that territory of 15 to 100K a month is they try and do everything. They maybe have an Instagram traffic source that's working, and then instead of doubling down and doing more of that, they're oh, now we need to add Reddit, now we need to add Twitter, now we need to do GGs, now we need to do some paid stuff, and they're putting all their money that they make back into the business into stuff that's not really returning them, and they're just stuck in this cycle of working really hard. The numbers look good, they look big, they're making 100K a month inflow, but they know really they're taking home fuck all, right? And they've got freedom, but they haven't really got freedom because they have to work fucking 16 hours a day. Okay, so I've been there, and that's the only reason I say this. I know that. When I first started, I took a model from literally nothing to 60K a month in the first 6 months, and from 60K a month to 230K a month. And then I had another model that I took to 30K a month, and then my big model left, and then I went back to zero, and it was a disaster. And I've been there, done there, I've been stuck, and so on and so forth, right? And not just that, I've literally, I hate special snowflake sort of theory of because I've done it, you can do it. I don't believe in that. But the only reason I speak with such sort of confidence is because I've also now worked with thousands of agencies. I've got 19,000 people in my free community. I've worked with hundreds of agencies on a one-to-one basis. I've worked with thousands of agencies within my coaching programs. I've got more data than anyone in the industry that what actually works, what doesn't work, and so on and so forth, right? So that's why I speak with such confidence. So I know where you're at. So if fulfillment is your issue, that's what you need to solve, and you need to do it by the theory of one, right? You just need one traffic source, right? So organic content on Instagram, that's fine. Stick with that, master that, get that down, figure out a system that's going to work for the models. You're good to go. Do the same with chatting, keep it super simple, great. Do the same with relationship management, keep it super simple, great, right? The measures are, is it predictable, is it reliable, and is it scalable? Once you've got that down, you're good to go. Next, you move on to the next actual constraint. Acquisition, right? Okay, now you've got a fulfillment system that works. How do you acquire more models to run through that fulfillment system? Real quick, I've got a free gift for you, and it's called the OFM Scaling Roadmap. And it's something that I've spent over 150 hours building because I was sick of seeing agency owners get stuck at the same points, make the same mistakes, and not know why. And so what it does is it breaks down the journey of growing an OFM agency into 7 clear stages from 0 to 500K plus per month. And it shows you what to focus on, what to ignore, and how to scale without burning out or blowing up the back end of your business. We cover all 8 business functions from product, marketing, sales, IT, customer success, recruiting, HR, and finance, and what each one needs to look like at your current stage. So if you're stuck at 10K a month, 30K a month, 100K a month and beyond, this will tell you why and exactly what you need to do to graduate to the next level. It's totally free. Just click the first link below this YouTube video, answer a few questions so I can customize it for you, and I will send it right over. I also just want to say thank you. The DMs I get daily from people using the content, sharing wins, breakthroughs, clarity, it genuinely fires me up. And if you're watching still feeling stuck or confused, you are not alone. This roadmap is for you. I built what I wish I'd had when I started, and now it's yours. Okay, now you've got a fulfillment system that works. How do you acquire more models to run through that fulfillment system? Now, this is where the issues and this is where all the cloudiness comes, because people at this point start to think that they have fulfillment problems because models are lazy, or like this works for one model, but this fulfillment system didn't work for another model, and it's because she's ugly, or it's because of this, or blah, 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 blah. The reason for that, the constraint there isn't actually fulfillment. If you've got something that's worked and is predictable, you now just have to replicate it with the same avatar. So you need to go find the same models with the same traits, with the same, work ethic, with the same characteristics, everything that system worked on for that model. That is your client avatar. So before you have an acquisition system, before you focus on cold outreach, before you focus on paid ads, before you focus on referrals, before you focus on inbound content, you have to have a clear avatar of the creator you want to work with, and that clear avatar needs to go hand in hand with your fulfillment system. Okay, so like for example, the easiest way to look at this is if you're working with trans creators, right? That's your client avatar. Great, you've got a fulfillment system that works specifically for those creators, chatting, content that works time and time again with that specific avatar, okay? That's great. Now that's amazing. Now you can get even more linear, okay, trans creators from the US, that are 18 to 25, whatever, but just keep it simple for now. Let's just say your avatar is that, trans creators. Great. You just need to double down on finding more trans creators. All your marketing, all your positioning, all your acquisition systems should be aimed at that avatar. The issue people make is they stray away from the avatar, right? And I'm obviously using trans creators as an example, but like wherever their avatar is, they first never define one, they just take on any old creator, and that's where they go wrong, and that's what slows them down. Or that's what allows them to maybe sign a creator that's different, that is bigger, that ends up making money, but then, they leave the agency. So the agency goes from 15K to 50K back to 15K, okay? We don't want that. We want predictability in the business. Otherwise, you may as well go gamble in crypto or in the casino if you have no predictability. Like, we start businesses so we can control the outcome. We can control how much we make. We can control our finances. We can control our freedom. We can do what we want, right? That's the point. Like right now I'm in Dubai. I'm staying in this $38,000 a month villa. Like that's what freedom is, right? So I'm focusing on the most important thing. So that being said, that was a bit of a tangent, but that's the acquisition, right? That's the next natural constraint. So avatar first, get clear on the avatars, then build an offer around that avatar. All your positioning in your marketing, in your acquisition systems need to be around that avatar, because you need to understand the pains, the problems, the desires of that avatar. So when you are making ads, when you are making content, when you are doing cold outreach, when you make the offer, when they watch a video or VSL, wherever it is, they feel like you're the only solution. You're the only person that can get them from where they're trying to go, where they are to where they're trying to go, right? From their current situation to their desired situation. And that is the power of having an avatar. If you try and speak to everyone and go broad, you end up speaking to no one. So when you're at that 15K, but this is only for agencies, by the way, making at least 15K a month. I've said this, so like if you're just starting out, this does not apply for you, right? I want to start making content to where it's not broad for everyone, because the issue is when you make broad content, you have all agencies trying to apply it. An agency at $1 million a month, 100K a month, a beginner, and they try and apply my advice, and it's not relevant to them in their current situation, right? And so like you have to understand, I do not have context on everyone's business is different, which is why I'm speaking today to agencies that are making at least 15K a month, because this is the problems you go through, right? And so, like I said, once you have that, you have the avatar, you have to get clear on the avatar. Everything you do acquisition-wise is all based around that avatar, right? So like right now, my avatar for you guys is agencies making above 15K a month. I'm speaking to you. I know your problems. I know your pains. I know where you want to go. And I know I can help you because I've done it time and time again. I've got a predictable fulfillment system that can help you go from where you're at to where you're trying to go, right? And that's the point. That's why I'm making this video. That's why I'm making this offer. That's why I'm, making this whole video so you can see. And that just puts it into context so you can understand. So you do that, right? Cool. You've got the avatar. You've now got an irresistible offer for that avatar. Now you just need to figure out one acquisition channel that you can start to have predictability, reliability, and then you can scale and double down on that. Don't add all 4 at the start. There's only 4 ways you can really do acquisition, right? Outreach, inbound content, right? Referrals and paid ads. Start with whatever one makes sense, right? For you. If you're good at paid ads, do that. If you're good at cold outreach, do that. If you're good at inbound, making content like this, do that, okay? Now, I would advise you to do inbound stuff anyway, like content and so on and so forth, just because it's going to be the most leverage over time. And it's not like you can just start inbound and you're going to just have your ideal creators working with you. It takes time to build likeness, trust, reputability, to show that you can actually back up what you're doing to get results. Like, no one would trust me. Like, if, for example, I wasn't actually getting agency's results, so I wasn't getting my own agency results, right? But I've obviously shown just by pure value from the last 3 years that I've been yapping on YouTube, the last 4 years I've been running the agency and working with agencies, like people can clearly see, okay, yeah, he's valid, like he's shown so much proof that he can do what he says. And so like that's why you should start making inbound content to attract your ideal avatar when it comes to models as well, right? Because over time you start to create a moat and you start to also get data on like everything. And so it just gives you an unfair advantage, right? So I'd recommend that anyway, but that's like a slow burner. That's not going to necessarily get you instant results. So you work on inbound for acquisition anyway. Once you've done that, then you have to figure out the other main acquisition system that you can just push volume through, right? So, well, like I said, whether that's paid ads, whether that's cold outreach, or whether that's referrals, okay? Wherever that is, you need to figure that out. Once that's done, you've now got a fulfillment system, an acquisition system, right? Then all you need to do is figure out, is just keep tracking the data, keep moving, keep putting more volume through the system, keep doing more, right? Do not add new at this point. Like you can get to 6-7 figures a month just doing one thing, right? Having one avatar, having one core offer, having one fulfillment system, having like one main acquisition system. Like you can get to 6 and 7 figures just doing that. Keep it simple, right? Simplicity scales, complexity fails. I promise you, I've seen it time and time again. This is where you need to really keep your blinders on and not get distracted by all the things you could be doing because you hear some guru talking about Twitter or Reddit or this new acquisition strategy or wherever. Once you've got something that's proven and it's reliable and it's predictable and you've got it as a system, you're getting data from that system, you're getting a feedback loop, and you can just continuously put more volume through and iterate on the system and make it better over time. Just do that, run that all the way up to 6 and 7 figures. All you need to then figure out to do is, how do you read that data? How do you make the right decisions? How do you move fast? How do you hire the right A players? And then have hiring systems and so on and so forth, right? You're probably gonna have to get some level of consulting, like how do you get the right consulting from someone who's done it and been there if you wanna scale? And then it's just, how do you decentralize yourself from the business? Once you've done that, like you're good to go. Then you can be in Dubai yapping about, whatever you wanna yap about and telling your models how much you can help them, just like how I'm telling you how I can help you, right? It's super fucking simple. So yeah, that's pretty much the only things you need to know. Fulfillment, figure that out, then acquisition. Once you've done that, then you need to figure out how to scale and decentralize yourself. I've got an entire video below that's shows how I took a model from 10K a month to 282K a month in 60 days. That's probably going to be interesting for you. I've got a bunch of other videos on my channel if you want to watch those as well. Just because there's tons of other value. They dive deeper into it. So the video below that's linked is going to dive deeper into the fulfillment system, into the acquisition system and so on and so forth, how we actually scale to create that. Or other than that, you can literally click the link below and just go straight to a video that can show you how to skip all that bullshit and figuring out yourself. And instead of duct taping all this YouTube advice together, you can literally just get access to me and my team, like me and my entire team. And we can just help you implement this for you, like we've done for hundreds of other agencies exactly like you. So if you want to do that as well, you can literally click the link. That'll be the first link in the description. You can watch a short 6-minute video. It's going to explain it, how it works. And then if it makes sense for you, great, book a call, speak with us. If it doesn't make sense, then say no. And again, this is we are not about like high pressured sales calls, sales tactics. Like, yeah, we're gonna sell you if you're a fit, but we are not by any means firstly gonna let anyone work with us. And secondly, like 90% of the people that will fill out this form and watch this video, if you do want to work with me, 90% get auto DQ'd because they're not the right avatar. And what did I tell you in this video? If it's not the right avatar, you shouldn't work with them, because yeah, you can make money, but it's like, that's not going to be good because you can't fulfill for them, which just causes other issues. So like, if you're an agency making 15K a month and above, only that video is for you. If you're under that and you still watch this video for whatever reason, just go and watch my free content to get to that point, and then maybe you can come and work with us if it makes sense and if you're the right fit, and only if you're someone that's actually willing to implement these systems and be coached on these systems, right? This is not a course or anything like that, right? So stop your panic, and we're not going to ask you to just get your fucking credit card out, and we're not going to pressure sell you. That's not us, right? We're just going to consult with you, speak to you, see if it makes sense. If it makes sense, great. Like, I would hope to think that, you know, just by speaking to you guys for a long time, like, you know, I'm not going to just sit there and fucking sell you some bullshit. So yeah, if you want to help with your agency, you just click the link in the description, first link, and other than that, I'll see you at the top. Let's go.